Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I, Dr. Sakshi Gupta, welcome you all to the first webinar and monthly CME conducted by THMA for the year 2022. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. This was quoted by Mahatma Gandhi. Remembering Father of the Nation on Martyrs' Day and following his footsteps of serving the ailing mankind as doctors, let's proceed further. Delhi Homeopathic Medical Association. It's the oldest and mother association of all the homeopathic associations in Delhi, and it was founded and registered by Dr. Yudhvir Singh in 1932. Dr. Yudhvir Singh was the first health minister of Delhi, was the first chairman of Board of Homeopathic System of Medicine in Delhi. He held the position from 1958 to 1969. He also founded Nehru Homeopathic Medical College and a number of charitable dispensaries in Delhi. The association has been continuously working for creating awareness among the general public about homeopathy by creating continued CMEs and medical health camps since it was established. So today we have our patron sir, Dr. VP Singh sir, President of DHMA, Dr. Shweta Singh, and our guest speaker, Dr. 𝘿𝙃𝙈 with us. Welcome, sir. Dr. 𝘿𝙃𝙈, he's a well-known homeopath among all of us. So I would request Dr. VP Singh to please welcome our guest. VP Singh, sir. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
हाँ जी सर.
Hello.
प्लीज सर, आवाज आ रही है सर आपको? हेलो.
हाँ डॉक्टर आवाज आ रही है?
जी सर जी.
हाँ थैंक यू डॉक्टर शक्ति गुप्ता. हाँ मुझे आवाज आ रही है. हाँ so I'd like to express for being together after a very long interval with our newly constituted office bearer and executive for the session 2022 to 2023, that is 2 years, in the presidency of our Honorable President Dr. Shweta Singh, BHMS MD, Scholar PhD, and Senior Research Fellow in CCRH India. And I also welcome all of you in the webinar with the different and special topic, acute homeopathic care and organ perceptives, by our respective speaker, Dr. 𝘿𝙃𝙈. Now, before starting our webinar on this particular subject, because last month Delhi Homeopathic Association had the election of president. It was the first auspicious occasion for Delhi Homeopathic Medical Association. Being an eminent homeopath, Dr. Shweta. Now, first of all, I would like to say to our honorable members, जो हमारे elected, nominated और एग्जीक्यूटिव्स, जो हमारी ऑनरेबल प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह ने जो बनाया है, उसकी लिस्ट जो मेरे पास आई है, क्योंकि ये एक्चुअली पैटर्न हमारे रहा है कि इलेक्शन प्रेसिडेंट का होगा। आफ्टर दैट सेलेक्ट द टीम फॉर वेरी गुड एक्टिविटीज ऑफ द DHMA, जिसमें चीफ एडवाइजर डॉक्टर युधिष्ठिर सिंह, सीनियर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर योगेंद्र त्यागी, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर SP वर्मा, एडवाइजर डॉक्टर SS सरावत, जनरल सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर साक्षी गुप्ता, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर नूपुर एंड डॉक्टर कल्पना भदौरिया, जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर अभिषेक दुग्गल, डॉक्टर इफत महमूद, ट्रेजरर डॉक्टर गरिमा जिंदल, मीडिया ऑपरेटिंग एग्जीक्यूटिव डॉक्टर हीरा H डॉक्टर रजनीश कुमार शर्मा, डॉक्टर YN भटनागर, डॉक्टर रोशनी, स्टूडेंट कोऑर्डिनेटर डॉक्टर उसामा अली, सॉरी स्टूडेंट हैं ये उसामा अली, ज्योति देवतवाल, आकांक्षा शर्मा। HR वेबसाइट में है डॉक्टर ऋचा पवार। HR यहाँ लिस्ट हमारी प्रेसिडेंट ने अपने हिसाब से बना करके मेरे पास आई है। तो आज इसमें एक शपथ ग्रहण हम लोगों को लेना है। मैं समझता हूं कि जितने भी नाम ये आए हैं ये सब यहाँ उपस्थित होंगे और इसमें आपको शपथ पत्र प्राप्त हो गया होगा। उसमें पहला शब्द मैं बोलूंगा, उसके बाद का उसको अपनी फाइल में रखिए। उस पर आपके सिग्नेचर पर्सनली वो करा लेंगी, आपकी कंसेंट होगी तब। डॉक्टर
सर।
मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको, नहीं आ रही है?
जी सर आ रही है। हेलो। हेलो। हेलो डॉक्टर VP सिंह, सुन पा रहे सर?
हटा रहे। हाँ हाँ डॉक्टर बताएं। जी
स्टार्ट करें?
आवाज आ रही है आपको?
हाँ जी सर।
हाँ मैं सुन पा रहा हूँ, आप सुन? हाँ जी हाँ जी।
स्टार्ट करें सर?
हाँ जी।
Okay, then we'll begin with our chief advisor, Dr. Yudhishthir Singh. Dr. Yudhishthir Singh did his
Yes.
DHMS in 1982 from Rajasthan Homeopathic Medical College, Jaipur. After working as a physician for many years in various charitable clinics, he established his own private clinic at Vishwasnagar in 2002. He is also associated with Apna Ghar Ashram Bharatpur, which serves the suffering and helpless human beings. He is DHMA member since 1990, influenced by Dr. VP Singh, and has served the association while being at the post of executive member and till the president. Dr. Yudhishthir Singh, our chief advisor.
मैं डॉक्टर युधिष्ठिर सिंह दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन रजिस्टर्ड के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 2 वर्ष हेतु नवनिर्वाचित कार्यकारिणी के कार्यकलापों को सुचारू रूप से संचालित करने में डीएचएमए के साथ होम्योपैथी के 25 वर्ष एवं विगत 2 वर्षों के अध्यक्षीय कार्यकाल के अनुभवों का नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह को उचित पथ प्रदर्शन एवं होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु पूर्ण निष्ठा से मुख्य सलाहकार के रूप में सहयोग करता रहूंगा। जय हैनीमैन, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, sir.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू मैम।
आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे प्लीज?
मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा कि सबसे पहले तो डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह को 2022-2023 के कार्यकाल के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई और उनकी पूरी कार्यकारिणी को बधाई। मेरा पूरा सहयोग रहेगा। आप काम करिए, खुल के करिए, कभी भी जरूरत पड़े कभी भी मुझे फोन कर लो, कोई भी सलाह चाहिए, कैसे चाहिए, मैं हर समय हर तरह से तैयार हूँ।
थैंक यू सो मच।
धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू।
Next, we have our Senior Vice President, Dr. Yogendra Tyagi. Dr. Yogendra Tyagi did his DHMS in 1982 and got his BHMS degree in 1984. He is a life member of DHMA and has served the association at the post of Senior Vice President during the last tenure. He has worked as a medical officer with MCD and various charitable organizations. He was also appointed as a lecturer with the Bharatiya Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital in Bharatpur during 1988 to 1993. Congratulations, Dr. Yogendra Tyagi, our Senior Vice President.
मैं डॉक्टर योगेंद्र त्यागी दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन रजिस्टर्ड के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के वरिष्ठ अध्यक्ष के रूप में शपथ लेता हूं कि डीएचएमए के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगा। जय हनीमैन, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, sir. Please, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
बस जो हमारे अध्यक्ष आए डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह जी जो भी काम देंगे वो काम किया जाएगा, उसमें कोई कमी नहीं आएगी।
थैंक यू सो मच सर।
Next is our advisor, Dr. S.S. Sehrawat. Has he joined us today? Dr. Sehrawat is one of the most senior members of the committee since very long, and he has been always there to guide, advise, and suggest in the proceedings of the association. And he couldn't join us today because he is not well. Sir, we wish you speedy recovery and seek your blessings always. Next is for the General Secretary.
Vice President, Dr. Prakash.
Hanji sir, Hanji.
Doctor, yes.
Next is our Vice President, Dr.
Huh.
𝘖𝑃𝑟𝑘𝑎𝑠 Verma. Sorry, sir. Dr. 𝘖𝑃𝑟𝑘𝑎𝑠 Verma. Dr.
Ma'am.
Verma completed his, sir, brief introduction. He completed his DHMS from BH Medical College, Bharatpur in 1986, and he has served DHMA as advisor and vice president during the previous tenures. He has practiced in various charitable dispensaries and got awarded with the Hahnemann Award in 2016. He also got Lifetime Achievement Award in 2013, 𝘠𝑚𝑜 Bhushan Award in 2019, appreciation certificates from Apollo Hospital in 2017, and many more. Congratulations, Dr. S.P. Verma, sir.
मैं
डॉक्टर सत्यप्रकाश वर्मा, दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक एसोसिएशन रजिस्टर्ड के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022 से 2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदय डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के उपाध्यक्ष के रूप में शपथ लेता हूं कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगा। जय जनिमनन, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, sir. आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
जो भी दिशा निर्देश महोदया, प्रेसिडेंट महोदया के द्वारा दिया जाएगा वो पूरा होगा हर हालत में।
Thank you, sir.
वेलकम।
Next is for the General Secretary.
Dr. Sakshi Gupta, and she completed her BHMS in 2013 from NHMC, Delhi, and Masters in Clinical Psychology in 2017. She is currently pursuing PGD, Family Counseling and Therapy. She worked in a charitable dispensary for more than 3 years and in SBL Private Limited as R&D officer and consultant for more than 5 years. So along with it, in 2016, she started her own clinic practicing as a homeopath and counseling psychologist. She is a DHMA member since 2017 and served the association as an executive member and organizing secretary during the last 10 years. Also a board member at Homeopathy World Community, USA. She has authored various articles published in Indian and international websites as well as journals. She is working as a co-editor for an Indian homeopathy newsletter. Apart from these, she has been invited by numerous organizations to deliver live lectures for fellow homeopaths as well as general public. So congratulations, Dr. Sakshi.
मैं
Just a second. Please go ahead.
मैं डॉक्टर साक्षी गुप्ता दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के महासचिव के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनुमान, जय होम्योपैथी। So the next in line is our organizing secretary, Dr. Noopur.
डॉक्टर साक्षी गुप्ता, आप भी कुछ शब्द बोलिए।
सर, मैं कमिटी को थैंक यू बोलना चाहती हूँ सबसे पहले फॉर ट्रस्टिंग मी फॉर दिस पोजीशन इन द एसोसिएशन, और मैं अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश करूंगी जो भी मैं कर सकती हूँ फॉर द एसोसिएशन एंड फॉर होम्योपैथी हमारी एसोसिएशन के माध्यम से। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू।
Next is Dr. Noopur, our organizing secretary. Dr. Noopur is a gold medalist from Rajasthan Vidyapeeth Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital in Udaipur of batch 2019. She is currently pursuing MD in Pharmacy from Swasthya Kalyan Homeopathic Medical College, Jaipur. She received Dr. 𝘿𝙃𝙈 Award, Kolkata in 2018. Since 2019, she is working as a consultant at Orbit Clinics and has served DHMA at the post of Joint Secretary and Organizing Secretary. Also, she is a volunteer at 𝐾𝐤𝑒𝑡𝑎 Holistic Approach, USA. Congratulations, Dr. Noopur.
मैं डॉक्टर नूपुर दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2020-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव के नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदय डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों के पालन करते हुए संस्था के आयोजन सचिव के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि मैं DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनुमान, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, Dr. Noopur. We would like to hear a few words from you.
Okay, thank you for this post and मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि इस टेन्योर में और अच्छे से अपना परफॉर्मेंस दे पाऊं और होम्योपैथी का जितना अच्छे से ग्रो हो पाए, तो हम पूरा अपना हेल्प करेंगे और मैम को पूरा सपोर्ट करेंगे। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Dr. Noopur. Our next organizing secretary is Dr. Kalpana. Dr. Kalpana graduated, sir, 2 seconds just. Graduated from Rajiv Gandhi Homeopathic Medical College, Indore in 2009. She has served DHMA as the Joint Secretary during the last tenure. She has always been an enthusiastic and a vibrant homeopath and part of the group. Please proceed.
मैं सर स्क्रीन नहीं आ रही है। मैं डॉक्टर कल्पना भदौरिया दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के आयोजन सचिव के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनीमन, जय होम्योपैथी। थैंक यू।
Congratulations, Dr. Kalpana.
थैंक यू।
Please say a few words for us.
मैं बस इतना कहना चाहती हूँ कि DHMA की टीम को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मुझे एक और मौका देने के लिए, और मैं अपनी पूरी कोशिश करूंगी DHMA और होम्योपैथी को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए। थैंक यू।
Thank you, ma'am. Next is our Joint Secretary, Dr. 𝘂𝐵𝑒𝑘𝑻 𝘠𝑑𝑢𝑔𝑎𝑙. Dr. 𝘂𝐵𝑒𝑘𝑻 𝘠𝑑𝑢𝑔𝑎𝑙 graduated from Nehru Homeopathic Medical College in 2014 and he did his MD in repertory from Sri Ganganagar Homeopathic Medical College. He has worked with Dr. Batra's healthcare clinic and received 100 on 100 patient satisfaction award. Currently, he is practicing at his own private clinic. He is a member of IIHP and DHMA. He has also got his articles published in prestigious journals like 𝑑are, Vital Informer and Tatya Journal. Dr. 𝘂𝐵𝑒𝑘𝑻 𝘠𝑑𝑢𝑔𝑎𝑙.
मैं डॉक्टर अभिषेक दुग्गल दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन रजिस्टर्ड के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-23 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में मनोनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के संयुक्त सचिव के रूप में शपथ लेता हूं कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार और एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा और ईमानदारी से काम करूंगा। जय हनीमन, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, Dr. 𝘂𝐵𝑒𝑘𝑻. Please say a few words for us.
मैं थैंक यू करना चाहूँगा सारे बोर्ड मेंबर्स का एंड एग्जीक्यूटिव्स का जिन्होंने मेरे को इस पोस्ट के लिए अपॉइंट किया, और मैं अपने 100% से कार्य करूँगा और जो भी जहाँ पे भी मेरी सर्विसेज रिक्वायर्ड होंगी मैं उसको पूर्णतः करूँगा। थैंक यू, थैंक यू डॉक्टर श्वेता, थैंक यू ऑल द टीम मेंबर्स।
Thank you, Dr. 𝘂𝐵𝑒𝑘𝑻. Next Joint Secretary is Dr. Ifat Mahmood. Dr. Ifat started her practice as soon as she accomplished her BHMS from GTM Homeopathic Medical College in Patna. She has been awarded excellence awards by various associations like Roop Foundation, MTNL Health Federation, IIHP, and Akhil Bharatiya Chikitsak Association. She has served DHMA as the executive member for last 4 years, and she has also written articles for the journal 𝑑are. Dr. Ifat.
मैं डॉक्टर इफ़त महमूद दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 दिव्य वार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदय डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों को पालन करते हुए संस्था के संयुक्त सचिव के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनीमन, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, Dr. Ifat. Would you like to say something to us?
मैं कमेटी को थैंक यू बोलना चाहती हूँ, स्पेशली थैंक यू डॉक्टर श्वेता मैम को बोलना चाहती हूँ कि मुझे दोबारा से किसी पोस्ट के लायक समझा, और मुझसे जितना होगा जहाँ जहाँ मेरी ज़रूरत होगी होम्योपैथी के लिए, DHMA के लिए, मैं अपना कार्य स्पष्ट रूप से। थैंक यू मैम।
Thank you, Dr. Ifat. Next is our treasurer, Dr. Garima Jindal. Dr. Garima completed her BHMS from NHMC Delhi and she's pursuing MD Homeopathy in Organon from Sri Guru Nanak Dev Homeopathic Medical College, Ludhiana. She has got her write-ups published in various journals and newsletters, namely The Heritage, Exploring Homeopathy, Homeobook, etc. She has been serving DHMA for last 5 years while being at the post of student coordinator, joint secretary, and then treasurer. Dr. Garima Jindal.
मैं डॉक्टर गरिमा जिंदल दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नव निर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदय डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के कोषाध्यक्ष के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि डीएचएमए के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनुमान, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, Dr. Garima. Would you like to say something to us?
I would just like to say that it is always nice to work with DHMA as a family, and I would like to give my complete support for the next tenure as well. Thank you, Dr. Shweta. Thank you, ma'am, for choosing me.
Thank you, Dr. Garima. So next, we have our media operating executive, Dr. 𝑘𝑠𝑎𝑟 Sharma. Dr. 𝑘𝑠𝑎𝑟 Sharma is the founder and director of Orbit Clinics. He is an international speaker on various channels. He has served DHMA from years, holding various positions in the committee. He is entitled with General Secretary of Mata Annapurna Mandir Samiti. He is the Executive Director of Homeopathy World Community in USA. He is the Chairman World Homeopathy Awareness Organization of the Netherlands. He is life member of South Delhi Homeopathic Medical Association, Liga Medicorum Homeopathica Internationalis, and also Indian Institute of Homeopathic Physicians. He is a co-host of Health in Show, which is a live online video lecture of HWC. He has been a recipient of many national and international awards. Dr. 𝑘𝑠𝑎𝑟 Sharma.
मैं डॉक्टर दीपक शर्मा दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन रजिस्टर्ड के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-23 द्विवर्षीय चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदय डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के मीडिया संचालन कार्यकारी के रूप में शपथ लेता हूं कि डीएचएमए के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी के साथ काम करूंगा। जय हनुमान, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, sir. We would like to hear from you.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर साक्षी एंड थैंक यू डॉक्टर श्वेता मैम। आपने मुझे जो भी पोस्ट दी है मैं उस पर पूरी तरह से काम करूंगा और मैं चाहता हूं कि जो गलतियां मुझसे पिछले टेन्योर में हुई या जो भी कमियां रहीं उन सबको आप पूरा करेंगे। आज इस ओथ सेरेमनी में मैं अपनी तरफ से जो भी मेरे से छोटी मोटी कोई गलती रही होगी मैं डीएचएमए को एक 5100 का एक डिपॉजिट कर रहा हूं और ऑलरेडी कर दिया है, जिसका मैंने एक जो ट्रांजैक्शन का स्लिप है वो मैं आप जो हमारी प्रेसिडेंट हैं उनको और जो आज जनरल सेक्रेटरी और ट्रेजरर तीनों को पोस्ट कर रहा हूँ। तो मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं सभी को। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. Next are our executive members, and first in line is Dr. Yatinder Bhatnagar. Dr. Yatinder Bhatnagar is a product of MKP Homeopathic Medical College, Jaipur. He is one of the pioneers in the field of children learning disabilities. He has his postgraduate diploma in health promotion from National Institute of Health and Family Welfare, Delhi, where his work on role of influenza 200 in flu-like illnesses was appreciated and published. He has been a member of DHMA for 2 consecutive years and has been awarded by NGO Diya Mission Help for All during 2015-16 and 18-19 as Best Homeopathic Doctor in the locality. Dr. Yatinder Bhatnagar.
मैं
Dr. Bhatnagar. Dr. Bhatnagar, can you hear us?
Yes, please.
Please, sir.
मैं डॉक्टर यतेंद्र भटनागर दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के कार्यकारी सदस्य के रूप में शपथ लेता हूं कि DHMS के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगा। Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Shweta Singh, ma'am, and Dr. V.P. Singh ji, Dr. Y. Singh ji. I really miss Dr. Deepak Sharma sir voice in this program. अभी उनकी आवाज सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगा। मैं जितना भी हो सकेगा मैं होम्योपैथी के प्रचार प्रसार के लिए DHMA के साथ में काम करता रहूंगा। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Next is Dr. Hira Agarwal. Dr. Hira is a direct disciple of Professor 𝘿𝑃 𝙁𝙁 with experience of 40 years. He completed his LCEH from DSH Medical College, Pune. He holds diplomate in classical homeopathy from International Academy of Classical Homeopathy, Greece. He holds various positions at reputed institutions internationally. He is a regional representative of India at West for World Health Awareness Organization since 2016. He's a recipient of various awards, and he has also experience of teaching materia medica as professor and then the HOD at GNR Homeopathic Medical College, Solapur from 1990 to 2010. Dr. Hira Agarwal. Sir, can you hear us?
मैं
Dr. Hira, are you there? Dr. Nupur, can you please check? He's there with us.
No, ma'am.
He has not joined us.
No name is showing.
Okay, then shall we proceed further? Dr. V.P. Singh, sir.
next please.
Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Sharma. Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Sharma is entitled with BSc BHMS from Agra University, MD Homeopathy from Rajasthan University, Doctorate of Homeopathic Medicine from UK, Postgraduate Diploma in Homeopathy from UK, and MBBS from Pune University. He has been recognized for social services in the field of medicine and has been recognized by various awards in all the fields, like Bharatiya Chikitsa Ratna Award, Homeopathic Gem Award, HWC Presidential Excellency Award. He has been interviewed by various TV channels, and he has presented various case histories, scientific papers at numerous international and national seminars. He is affiliated as International Vice President at HWC. He's a life member of various organizations, and he's the first one to establish an indoor homeopathic hospital of Uttarakhand, which is equipped with latest modern facilities. He has published a book on homeopathy in Hindi for introductory knowledge for the patients, Homeopathy 𝑘𝐽, and apart from that, also his articles have been published in various reputed journals. Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Sharma.
डॉक्टर रजनीश कुमार शर्मा दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के कार्यकारी सदस्य के रूप में शपथ लेता हूं कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी का विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगा। जय हनीमैन, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, sir. We would like to have a few words from you.
Sure. Thank you, DHMA. Thank you, all the members of DHMA, for giving me an opportunity to serve DHMA and homeopathy through it, for the sake of human being and for the sake of humanity and for the sake of homeopathy. I'm always with you in all the respects regarding to homeopathy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our next executive member is Dr. Roshni. Dr. Roshni has completed BHMS from NHMC Delhi in 2013, and she did her MD from Baxens in 2019. She has been a part of Dr. Lal Singh Foundation for 2 years and is currently practicing in Greater Noida. She is the founder of an Android homeopathic MCU application, which is available there in Google Play Store. Dr. Roshni.
मैं डॉक्टर रोशनी दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022 से 2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदय डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दीक्षा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के कार्यकारी सदस्य के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनीमैन, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, Dr. Roshni. Would you like to say something to us?
Thank you, Dr. Sakshi. I'm highly obliged to be part of DHMA, and I will give my 100% in order to promote homeopathy. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Roshni. We have next in line our student coordinators, and the first among them is Usama Ali. Usama is a final year BHMS student from NHMC Delhi. He has been a member since 2018 and has served the association at the post of student coordinator. Dr. Usama. Others, please mute yourself.
Yeah.
Dr. Swati Pramanik, I would request you to please mute yourself.
मैं
Usama, are you there?
हेलो,
मैं
उसामा अली दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-23 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के छात्र स्टूडेंट कोऑर्डिनेटर के रूप में शपथ लेता हूँ कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं काम करूंगा। जय हनुमान, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, Usama. Would you like to say something to us?
No, ma'am. Just I want to say I'll give my best.
Okay. So our next student coordinator is 𝘂𝑒𝑚𝑒. Jyoti also is a final year BHMS student of PGI Rohtak. She has been holding first rank in all the previous years and regularly participates in co-curricular activities at her college. She has participated in various camps organized by various organizations and has been awarded for the same. 𝘂𝑒𝑚𝑒. She was also a student coordinator during our previous tenure.
मैं ज्योति देवतवाल दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022 टू 2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के छात्र समन्वयक के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनुमान, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, Jyoti. Would you like to say something?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity again. I will try my best to serve the HMA and homeopathy at its best. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti. Next is Dr. Akanksha Sharma. Akanksha is an intern of Param Himalaya Homeopathic Medical College and Research Center in 𝘿𝙗𝙗, Uttarakhand, and she is also working at a homeopathic clinic in Delhi. Akanksha Sharma.
मैं आकांक्षा शर्मा दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदया डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों के पालन करते हुए संस्था के छात्र समन्वयक के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनुमान, जय होम्योपैथी। थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू DHMA।
Okay, so next is our HR website, Dr. Richa Panbar. Dr. Richa did her BHMS from Baxen's Homeopathic Medical College in 2011 and MD Peds from Agra University. Currently, she is practicing in Malvinagar and Narayana. She had keen interest in pain management and got her BPT degree in 2014. She is a recipient of many appreciation awards from Board of Homeopathic System of Medicine, Delhi. Dr. Richa.
मैं
डॉक्टर ऋचा पवार दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदय डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के HR वेबसाइट के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनुमान, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, Dr. Richa. Would you like to say something to us?
Nothing as such. I just want to thank DHMA again for giving me this opportunity, and I will wholeheartedly work for its betterment. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is our HR social media, Neha Teharpuria. Neha is a final year BHMS student of Nehru Homeopathic Medical College in Delhi. She wishes to serve her patients with a strong belief that homeopathy and its miraculous effects on patients. Neha Teharpuria.
Yes, ma'am. मैं नेहा तेहरपुरिया दिल्ली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के संविधान को साक्षी मानते हुए वर्ष 2022-2023 द्विवार्षिक चुनाव में नवनिर्वाचित अध्यक्ष महोदय डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह के दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए संस्था के HR सामाजिक मीडिया के रूप में शपथ लेती हूँ कि DHMA के माध्यम से होम्योपैथी के विकास, प्रचार एवं प्रसार हेतु अपनी पूरी निष्ठा एवं ईमानदारी से काम करूंगी। जय हनुमान, जय होम्योपैथी।
Congratulations, Neha. Would you like to say something to us?
मैम जस्ट आई वांट टू अपोलोजाइज अगर मेरी वजह से किसी काम में कोई कमी रह गई हो, एंड यही कहना चाहूंगी that I will try my best to serve DHMA and Dr. Shweta. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Neha. Now I would request our President, Ma'am Dr. Shweta Singh, to please address the newly formed committee. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Sakshi, and I'm really honored to introduce my newly constituted team of executive members and office bearers to all of you, and many congratulations to all. I wish we work together and for the betterment and upliftment of homeopathy through our platform of DHMA and set a global example of true teamwork. Be united and keep progressing, since when team works, dream works. So all the best to all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We all are together in this. Now I would seek permission from you to start our scientific sessions for today, or?
Yes, Dr. VP Singh sir, please.
आज की कमेटी को डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह मंजूरी दी जाती है और शुभकामनाओं के साथ आपको सलाह दी जाती है कि 23 महीनों में अगले जो आपके पास हैं उनमें अपनी टीम के साथ पूरी मेहनत से काम करेंगे और DHMA को और शिखर पर ले जाएंगे। मुझे पूरा विश्वास और आशा है। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सबको।
Thank you, sir. Dr. Sakshi, please proceed.
Okay, so let's begin our scientific session for today. I once again welcome Dr. Pratiksha and thank him for his precious time for us. Let me give a brief introduction, although we all very well know him. Dr. Pratiksha is the Chief Consultant and Medical Director at ☨ Homeopathic Hospital. He is a consultant to the Honorable Governor.
I request everyone, please mute yourself. Yeah, please, Dr. Sakshi.
Dr. Krutik, he is a consultant to the Honorable Governor of Gujarat and he has the following awards in his name. He has the Bharat Gaurav Award from the British Parliament, London. He has got the Most Promising Homeopathic Professional Award by Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. International Homeopathic Healthcare Leadership Award by Asian African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, New Delhi. Dishawal Shiromani Award by Vishwa Dishawal Parivar, Bombay. And he is a creator, largest and most modern technological development in the history of homeopathy in the state of Gujarat. We welcome you, sir, again.
Thank you very much.
Kindly enlighten us with your lecture. Welcome, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Sakshi. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, heartiest congratulations to the entire team of DHMA, and with a special gratitude to Dr. VP Singh sir, patron of DHMA, and all the very best to President Dr. Shweta Singh and the whole team of DHMA for making this 23 months better than the best and set an example to the homeopathy community. Can I share my screen?
Thank you so much, sir. And most welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what is this? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, before just a second, let me set this up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this acute homeopathic care and organon perspective is like, I would say it's a bird eye view, it's a flying view of the entire organon on the single subject. This is not advised to be done when you are a beginner of learning organon or when you are religiously reading out all the aphorisms. Having read organon more than 700 times in my life and having read and having applying aphorisms of the organon, sentences of the organon, or even words of the organon into every patient I see has made me to create this unique topic. So this topic is pure clinical. I'm not going to touch any theory part of it because there is no need of it. We all are practitioners, and more or less my purpose will be how it can help you clinically. So along with the lecture, let us have Hahnemannian oath, the way we have seen the oath of DHMA. Let us have the oath from Hahnemann as well. On my honor, I swear that I shall practice the teachings of homeopathy, perform my duty, render justice to my patient, and help the sick whosoever comes to me for treatment. May the teachings of Master Hahnemann inspire me, and may I have the strength for fulfillment of my mission. Jai Hahnemann, Jai Homeopathy. Now into this lecture, I'll be going a little fast because we have limited time, but my intention will be to give you the gist of the acute management with a strong perspective of organon. There are a lot of materia medica, there is a lot of repertory, there are a lot of things, but see, organon is an instrument of what you call, it's an instrument of logic. It's an instrument. So how you find the remedy is materia medica, but how to apply is organon. So, and when you have difficulty in challenging cases, it is absolute organon. So with this, I'm going to the very practical part of the organon, that is say for example 82nd aphorism. I'm not going to touch what is acute disease, that is 72 aphorism, or types of acute disease, individual, endemic, pandemic, 73 and all. I'll be going straight away to the practical part, because this is very important and this is a journey. I will go with the journey of managing the patient, what you should do when there is a mistake in managing acute cases, how you can justify your remedy that it is working positively or not, etc., etc., practically on the ground of organon. So now this is 82nd aphorism. Now in this 82nd aphorism, the basic fundamental of homeopathy, is individualization. That is what we all know. So ultimately, individualization is something which we do in every patient we see. It is, homeopathy is all about constitutional care, right? What is constitutional? It is constant individual. Entire organon is based on constitutional care. Two patients of same disease may receive different remedy. Two patients of different disease may receive same remedy. So it's all about individualization. What Hahnemann talks in 82nd, that is in acute disease, less time is required as everything is fresh in the memory and almost everything is self-evident. Patient can tell you exactly, patient gives a lot of important information on a fraction of second, because everything is in his head very clear. The opposite is 95 aphorism, where chronic disease, where Hahnemann talks about, pregnant with meaning. There is a word, pregnant with meaning. Hahnemann has used the word pregnant with meaning in chronic disease. But as that is where, that there are a lot of information which are hidden. What is the meaning of pregnancy? Something is alive in the tummy of a woman. So in a chronic case, there is a lot of information which is hidden, but it's very alive, it's very vital. You need to dig out of it. But that is not the case with acute. So 82nd is individualization. 90 aphorism. Well, I would say Hahnemann became a great homeopath. That's why Hahnemann was a great allopath. That's why he became great homeopath. So allopathy and homeopathy goes hand to hand till diagnosis. I worry to the people who don't value diagnosis, who don't go for examination, who don't see the clinical files of the patient, who don't make themselves clear about the diagnosis, because diagnosis will make the prognosis. Ultimately, what is to be cured in the disease? Aphorism 3, first line. And that is what Hahnemann talks about. If physician clearly perceives what is to be cured in the disease. So you have to understand what you are dealing with, but at the same time, how is entire organon for that. So for acute, 90 aphorism, general and systemic examination. Every patient in my hospital goes through a thorough general and systemic examination. In the era of COVID, it's very difficult. We many times limit ourselves, but otherwise in every patient in my practice goes for general systemic examination. Laboratory and radiological investigations are must. People are not open for investigations. People are not open for diagnosis. Please don't do that, because ultimately allopathy and homeopathy goes till diagnosis, and then allopathy has their chemical drugs, homeopathy have their herbal weapons. So more or less, investigations, any kind of investigations, many cases are getting open to you when you send them for investigations. Right now, if time permits, I'm going to show you multiple cases of acute evidence-based case studies in which all the investigations are there to confirm the diagnosis and confirm the improvement or cure after the remedy has been given. Medical diagnosis. People don't go for medical diagnosis. It is an absolute must. Checking previous files. Whenever a patient is, usually what is the story in homeopathy? People go to allopathy doctors, people go to all type of doctors, and then when there is no solution, they come to the homeopath as a hope. And I believe still we can do great for them. See, the logo of my homeopathic hospital is homeopathy, hope for hopeless and help for helpless. Right? So homeopathy has a hope, but there are ways how to tackle these type of difficult or complex cases or even acute cases. I give you an example, simple example. One of the child, probably last year, I guess, visited my hospital in a consultation. Their parents were telling continuously that my child has tonsillitis. Every change of weather, he has tonsillitis. Every change of weather, he has tonsillitis, etc., etc. And when it was like general history, personal tonsillitis, we have that rubric, and we were going in that direction. My assistants also were going in that direction. But as soon as I started examining the files of the child, the pediatric files of that patient, multiple pediatricians file, when I started examining, everybody has written more or less acute pharyngitis, acute pharyngitis, acute pharyngitis, acute pharyngitis. So pharynx is a part of tonsil, but the rubric becomes history personal pharyngitis. It's not tonsillitis. So remedy turned out to be phosphorus. Beautiful effect. I think 30 or 201 dose made the case completely open, completely clear. So investigation, examination, checking of the medical history will really base your prescription solid, and that's what Hahnemann tells in aphorism number 90. Now you are supposed to individualize. Now you are supposed to know how to do in examinations. Now how to prescribe. Now the aphorism next is 92nd, where Hahnemann says how to prescribe, right? How we should prescribe. What Hahnemann tells in 92nd aphorism is prescribe on sure symptoms, only on sure symptoms, as you cannot wait or delay. As you cannot wait, or acute is either death or recovery. Acute is either win or lose. Acute is either do or die, right? So in a way, acute is a state where you are not supposed to go too much deep into the patient because the vital force is suddenly disturbed, and at the same time you have to make the vital force suddenly improved as well. So what Hahnemann tells in 92nd, prescribe on sure symptoms. If you have little doubt on the symptom of the patient, or if you have little doubt in terms of interpreting the symptom coming to you through patient, just keep it away. Prescribe on sure symptoms. Here you have very limited time, you have limited opportunity. Acute is a courage, acute will make you famous overnight. If you make the patient better, say for example, an acute pneumonia, or acute appendicitis, or acute colitis, or colics, asthmas, etc. So there are so many acutes in which homeopathy works like wonder. It works like magic. But you have to be clear about the instrument, how you are going to use this. So 92nd is prescribe on sure symptoms, as you cannot wait or delay, because you cannot wait to have the complete picture of belladonna. You cannot wait to have complete picture of phosphorus. At the same time, you can give, because the patient does not have thirstlessness in heat stage, you cannot give epis, right? Or a patient is not thirstless during fever, you cannot give pulsatilla. No, see what you have, don't see what you don't have. See what you have, don't see what you don't have. Just take the active symptoms. Active symptoms is von Boningusen method. If you read Boningusen literature, or if you read Kent literature, they have given their own method of managing acute. It's a 2-hour lecture on Boningusen, because Boningusen is the person who created repertory for acutes and fever, and more or less the person whom Hahnemann himself has appraised in his organon. There are only 2 homeopaths in the entire organon Hahnemann has appreciated in his aphorisms, Dr. Boningusen and Dr. Jar. So if time permits, maybe in the future, or maybe you by yourself, go and read von Boningusen method. It's a beautiful, a short piece of information, but crisp and clear, will make you to be better and better in managing acute. So it is never like clear picture in 98 aphorism, 92 aphorism. It is never like clear picture. Whatever you have, you get it. Like today in the morning, I had an acute. I had a patient having an acute. He was having kind of severe fever with chest involvement. On X-ray, it turned out to be pneumonia. I only took acute symptoms and started the medication. So it's never like complete picture, right? Into that, from 82nd, which is all about individualization, 90 is observation and examination, 92nd is how to prescribe, and 99 is what to do when you are stuck, when you are not getting good information, what to do when you are not clear about information what you are getting from the patient. Ask relatives, your observations. 99 is all about importance of history from relatives in acute diseases. Case taking acute disease is very easy, because all the deviations from the health is very fresh, and what Hahnemann tells, fresh in the memory of patient and his friends, and continues to be strong and striking. So in this way, these are the 4 aphorisms, is all about acute case management, right? I repeat again, 80, 82nd, in 90, 92, and 99. These are the 4 aphorisms. You can take it for acute acute case taking. Acute case taking. Now we are going towards remedy reaction. Friends, can I have your feedback? Are you able to understand me properly? Am I reachable to you? Can I have your quick updates in
Sir,
the chat, please?
Your PPT is not visible.
PPT is not visible. Oh, should I share it again? Friends, can I? Your PPT is not visible. Oh, I'm so sad. Sorry. How this happened? Now?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. So all the PPTs were not visible. Last PPT also was not visible.
Just show that, see that window.
You should have interrupted me. You should have interrupted me.
Sir, I didn't want to break your flow.
No. It's completely okay. This is 82nd aphorism. 82nd, 90, 92, and 99 are the only 4 aphorisms where Hahnemann gives indications about acute case taking. Right? So this is 82nd. 82nd is individuation. 90 is observation and examination. And please interrupt me in the middle if the PPT is not visible, or if there is a disturbances in the internet or so.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Okay. And this is about 92nd and 99. So can I have the feedback from the people? Are you able to understand whatever? Second got lost. I'm so sorry. What is happening actually? Okay. Can I get a feedback from the people if they have followed it out, what has been said in the lecture or so in the chat? PPT was an issue.
Yes, sir. We are getting the comments in the chat section. It is very clear.
Okay, chat. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now going to the remedy reaction. Suppose you have found a remedy and you have given a remedy to the patient. Now what you should expect, and that is very important. So it's all about how a homeopathic specific remedy works, and that is very important because there is like what homeopathy is suffering with a lot of misinformation. And one of them is concept of acute and chronic remedy. If you understand the organon, if you read clear chronic disease, or if you read lesser writings, Hahnemann has never said that this is a set of acute remedy and this is a set of chronic remedy. What is acute is vital force is suddenly deranged, so it is behaving in an acute manner. Vital force is deranged in a chronic way, so it is behaving chronically. So if you give a remedy may in an acute disease will work acutely, or remedy in a chronic disease will work chronically. There is nothing like acute remedy or chronic remedy. It's all about what you are doing is trying to produce secondary curative action. See, homeopathy is not a science of action, it's a science of reaction. Secondary curative reaction, 64 aphorism, 65, 66, and 68. So in this way, homeopathy is not a science of action, it's a science of reaction, secondary curative reaction. So if the vital force is acutely deranged, it will produce an acute response. If the vital force is chronically deranged, it will produce a chronic response. So 149 aphorism, if you see, has multiple parts, but in that aphorism, Hahnemann talks about specifically what you expect after giving the remedy in an acute disease. What Hahnemann tells, the disease we wish to cure subside insensibly. Just understand the word, insensibly. Even though it is of a grave character, attended with lot of sufferings, totally, along with traces of indisposition. So what Hahnemann tells, after giving the remedy, within few doses or within very short time, the disease should subside insensibly, even though of a grave character attended with lot of symptomatology. How? And that is in total, along with traces of indisposition. not in partial. How it should go? It should go in total, along with traces of indisposition. You know, predisposition, indisposition, and disposition. Hahnemann has said about it in his lesser writings in his theory of chronic disease, but this is not the time to go deeper into this here. So what Hahnemann talks about is the disease after a few doses should subside insensibly, totally, along with traces of indisposition. Right? And now into that next, very, very important. There are clinical problems. What we face in our practice, should I treat this acute or not? Should I take this acute or not? Should I manage? Should I prescribe a remedy for this acute or not? So there are two types of acute. One is trivial, and second is needs treatment. Needs treatment, or maybe emergency or serious cases. So 150 is about slight sufferings. In the season of weddings, if you have a late night sleep, or you had a hangout and your body doesn't work well next day, you don't need a remedy for that. It's the biological clock which has been disturbed. You have rest, you have good food, vitamin C, rest overall in a good way will make you better. But there is no clear-cut remedy we need to give because it's an indisposition. But in such a case, after exposure to same exciting causes, person develops fever, person develops serious problems in GIT or respiratory, or has severe headache and all. There are violent sufferings, immediate treatment. So what Hahnemann tells is something very important, that whenever you treat, this should be the reaction, 149. But you should also know which type of problem you have to take it on your head, which type of patient you have to take, which type of patient you just have to counsel and make them better with certain modifications in the lifestyle. That's all. So 150 is indisposition, no treatment. 151, violent sufferings, immediate treatment. Immediate treatment. And third is serious diseases, life-threatening diseases, dangerous diseases, meningitis, convulsions, status asthmaticus, status epilepticus, heart attacks, paralysis, cardiovascular accident. Also in a serious cases, what Hahnemann tells is something opposite than what we actually realize. What Hahnemann tells, that the worst of the acute disease is, it will not be difficult to find one from whose separate disease element is antitype curative artificial disease. So worse the acute disease is, better are the chance to get a right medicine. Serious the acute disease is, easy will be to find the medicine. But acute, as I said, needs courage and confidence, needs the skill of the homeopath, dare to be wise, that is what is needed. And that's what how you can treat these type of acute diseases. Say for example, Dr. Amarsiya Nikam in Pune, he has 100-bedded homeopathic hospital, and he is taking genuine emergency cases. I have visited his hospital. I have learned under him. I have seen what type of cases he is taking. So what this 152 aphorism tells is, the worst acute disease, very much numerous and more striking symptoms, because vital force is the governing force of the body. The more it is deranged, more serious and more numerous and more striking peculiar symptoms you are going to get. Second, with much more certainty, a suitable remedy can be found, because the pathology is clear, your sphere of action of the remedy is clear. Now what you need to do is to find PQRS with generality prescribe. So second point is, with much more certainty, a suitable remedy is found. If we know the sufficient number of remedies, improve over mud remedica. You can practice with 50 remedies, you can practice with 500 remedies, but the level of success or the level of recognition will be much more different than with less number of mud remedica to the larger number of mud remedica into your head. So what Hahnemann tells in 152 is, the worst acute disease, if you have these 3 points, don't worry. You have to just follow these 3 points. And what will be the situation? It will not be difficult to find one from whose separate disease element an antitype of curative disease. So this is something very, very clear. And so in an acute, many times we have a fear. Many times we need a remedy, So that is something which just need to take it away. Homeopathy, I believe, is probably the fastest science on the planet when it is coming to management of acute diseases. Rapid, gentle, and permanent, super fast. Homeopathy works faster than antibiotics. Homeopathy works faster than steroids. Homeopathy works faster than painkillers. So there is no need of all these antibiotics, steroids, or painkillers, because when ultimately right remedy hits, there is always magic. There is no logic. So ultimately, 152 aphorism is I follow on a very regular basis into my practice, because we have an indoor patient facility, right? Next, now you have taken a serious pathology cases. This is the fourth is 154th. I will repeat out again because it's all in very connection. 149 is how your acute disease should go away, right? How your acute disease should go away. 150, 151, and 152. Which type of cases you should take it into your hands? Are they need treatment? Either need lifestyle modification, or are they immediately need treatment? So 150, 151, and 152 are the three types of acute diseases what we are getting into our practice, right? Now into this 154, you have prescribed a remedy. You have like worked for a remedy, but now what criteria you should look for in order to prescribe? What criteria you should have a focus in any acute disease? 3 points are very important. 3-leg stool, I would say. Maximum PQRS. See what Hahnemann tells, something beautiful. If the antitype is constructed properly, means if you have made a clear-cut case taking, you have clear-cut symptoms and proper application, if we are able to find the medicine covering maximum PQRS. So more, see, PQRS I would say is God in homeopathy. 153 aphorism is God in homeopathy, because the way no five fingers are same, even no two faces are same. If you write your own name twice on the paper, will never be same. Similarly, Hahnemann talks about every vital force is unique in this universe. Every vital force is unique in, so as the remedy also. That is what 117 and 119 footnote tells about. There are no surrogates in homeopathy. So PQRS, if you are able to hit it, beautiful success you have achieved. You are almost very close to the similimum. But PQRS cannot stand alone. PQRS comes from general state. So greatest symptom similarity is needed. So general should match. Thirst in an acute, loss of thirst small quantity, thirst large quantity, appetite, what type of disturbances, bitter taste in the mouth, etc., whatever. PQRS, generals, and sphere of action. Suppose you have a case of pneumonia and you have two remedies in your head at the moment. One is pulsatilla and second is belladonna. Both are covering more or less logically similar type of symptoms. But the disease to be cured is infective pathology, lung involvement, fast. There goes with belladonna. So these 3 points, I tell you, my friends, I apply in any acute IC. PQRS, generals, and sphere of action. That's all. If you make these 3 points into your, if you remember 3 points while selecting the remedy, probably 9 out of 10 times Hahnemann tells, it's not from me, it's from Hahnemann, it's from our father, right? Hahnemann tells there is very less likely to make a mistake. If the disease be not one of very long standing, we generally be removed and extinguished by the first dose of a remedy without considerable disturbance. Without considerable disturbance. See the confidence. 155 aphorism. Also Hahnemann tells, I say without considerable disturbance. But 154 is for acute, 155 is for something else, which I'm not going to touch it out here. So how to prescribe is these 3 points. Now we are humans. We make mistake, right? There is a possibility that we make mistake in acute disease. In treating an acute, many times the state is changing so fast, we make a mistake. So what we should do? What should be our approach? If you make a mistake innocently, we tried our best, but the remedy was not correct. Many times it may be partial similar, maybe it may be wrong. What we should do? Hahnemann talks very clearly about it, that there are 3 points. Neither need to wait for the effect of the remedy to exhaust its action. Whatever remedy you have given, say for example, you have given bryonia, but it turned out to be a partial similar. It is just touching the case, and now the case is again worse. What you should do, you should not wait for the bryonia to exhaust its action. No, never leave the patient alone. In acute, patient needs your maximum attention. In acute, patient needs your maximum support. In acute, patient needs your continuous contact. Whenever the patient is having an acute, they are in direct contact to me straight away. Otherwise, we have a system in the hospital for chronic patients. So we in acute, I am directly in touch with the patient. And that is how it really helps the moral of the patient, that I'm in direct contact with the doctor or on the phone anytime. Many times I've received a phone 3 o'clock in the night, 4 o'clock in the night for an acute, and I many times tell you, call me at 12 o'clock. I want to see how are you doing. Even though I'm sleeping, I will wake up and I will pick up your call. Because ultimately in acute, you need to be right there with the patient emotionally. You have to show your sympathy towards the suffering soul. Otherwise, they will lose you. If you lose treating an acute, patient will drop you permanently. I tell you very frankly, if you are not able to treat acute properly, they will end up into allopathic hospitals, and they will block homeopathy permanently in their dictionary. So ultimately, never leave the patient. And third,
Sir, there is no voice, Dr. Kritik. We are not able to hear you.
Sir, I guess there's some network issue with him. We should wait for a few minutes. Dr. Krutik is facing some network issues, so we'll wait for them till now. And in case any one of you would like to share their experiences in acute conditions, please come forward. Till then, we can discuss in ourselves. Dr. Rajneesh? Anybody who would like to share his or her experience with us? Sir, आप कुछ शेयर करना चाहेंगे acute cases के बारे में हमसे? Can you hear us, sir?
Dr. Sakshi Gupta, can you please name that doctor? It will be easy for us to know to
I
whom
named
are
him,
you.
sir. I named him. I requested Dr. Rajneesh, and he
Okay,
started
okay,
his
good.
yeah.
Good.
He
good.
said he's having some network problem. Maybe Dr. Mohinder, you can share something with us.
At
Please,
moment I am
please.
listening. Please, at moment I am listening. I'll tell you later on, if possible. Thank you.
Dr. Kruti will be joining us soon.
डॉक्टर दीपक शर्मा को इनवाइट कर लो जब तक ये तो हो तो।
सर आपने बोला है तो उनको आना पड़ेगा फिर। दीपक सर,
वो हर मुश्किल में साथ देते हैं हमारा, ऐसी बात नहीं है। तो जब तक वो उनका नेटवर्क नहीं आ रहा।
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, there was some sudden shutdown of the electricity and it was completely, like, please make me co-host so that I can share the screen.
Yes, sir, no issues.
कुछ तो I think fire हुआ outside the the crossing and then there was a sudden drop of the electricity.
Everything okay, sir, there?
Yeah, everything is okay, fortunately. But I'm able to see people may be going from the building to just check it out because there is a loss of the electricity in the entire building.
Oh, okay.
We have generators, so we don't have problem. Okay. So where okay, fine. Okay. Friends, I'm sorry for the disturbance. It was unintentional and sudden. It was in nobody's control. So 167 is the fourth point. What I was up to. Can you please tell me up till where I had reached? I mean, you were able to receive because कुछ suddenly बंद हो गया था तो पता नहीं चला कहाँ तक मतलब
So we were on the second point we had finished and you were going to try for the antidote. That is the third point.
Right, sir. Thank you very much. So here in 167 aphorism, Hahnemann tells that in an acute, if the remedy has been grossly wrong, completely out of logic, completely uncalculated, completely unhomeopathic, you may have to antidote. Try to antidote. But again, what Hahnemann tells in multiple aphorisms, even especially 149, and there are some other aphorisms also, where Hahnemann talks about the conscientious homeopath will never need an antidote. Will never need an antidote because when you are so much careful, when you are so much calculative, when you are so much analytical, when you are so much conscientious before giving the remedy, there will be hardly a situation to undo the mistake, to undo the thing. So what Hahnemann tells is conscientious homeopath will hardly need a remedy, antidotal remedy to counter the other remedy, wrong remedy. So and how to do? Now the fourth point is how to correct the mistake happened innocently. Maybe lack of knowledge of materia medica, maybe the state of the disease is changing very fast, remedy is changing very fast, whatever may be the situation. How to prescribe as a revised prescription. Next prescription is this. What Hahnemann tells, just investigate a fresh morbid state in altered condition, remainder of the original state and troublesome newly developed picture of the symptoms of the new picture of the disease. So the remainder of the original and the new what is developed in total will give you a new totality in order to find a new remedy. Say for example, I'll stop sharing the screen here because it's very important here to tell. See, ultimately, suppose in an acute we have 8 symptoms, we have 8 or 9 symptoms. We gave partial similar remedy unknowingly. We tried our best, but it was not working it didn't work for us. Now it is quite possible that as a human we may make mistake. So out of 9 symptoms, 4 symptoms have gone. With the partial similar remedy, 4 symptoms have gone. These 5 symptoms remain the same, and there is one new symptom. One new symptom has come up. So now your next prescription will be the totality of these 6 symptoms. You have to forget the 4. And this 6 symptom will give you the next remedy to the present state of the disease. That is what Hahnemann talks about in 167 aphorism. That remainder of the original state and troublesome newly developed symptoms will give you a new portrait, right? So with this, it is all about remedy reaction, and now is all about posology and case management in acute. Friends, can I have your feedback quickly? Are you able to receive me properly? I'll be very happy to have your honest feedback.
Yes, sir. It is very interesting, sir. Please continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Okay, now is all about posology. What kind of potency we should select, or how we should make a repetition, when to stop repetition, what do you expect after giving the remedy. This is all about case management query. And into this, it is the most important is 245 aphorism. This is for both. What Hahnemann tells about acute and chronic together. What Hahnemann tells is every perceptibly progressive and strikingly increasing amelioration, either transient or progressive, means acute or chronic disease, as long as it lasts, completely precludes every repetition of the administration of any medicine whatsoever. So when you're given a dose and when you are able to find the improvement, there is no need to repeat whatsoever. There are people who repeat very randomly. There are people who don't repeat at all. We should be neither of that. The repetition has to be subjective to the case in front of us. So if there is an improvement, suppose you have given 1 potency of pulsatilla, there is an improvement. As long as it lasts, completely precludes every repetition of the administration of any medicine whatsoever. Neither the same nor the different, nor the same potency, nor the next higher or lower potency. What Hahnemann says, every new dose of any medicine, this is deleted. This is how I present organon to the profession. What Hahnemann has said not to do. He says not to do. That's what I have made a cut like this. But this is from aphorism only. Every new dose of any medicine whatsoever, even one last administered, hitherto showing some improvement, and it is salutary, will disturb the case of amelioration, will disturb the work of amelioration. So we are not supposed to repeat as long as patient is better. Otherwise, you will either land them into aggravation or you will land them into something else, maybe proving. So ultimately, we are not supposed to repeat as long as patient is better, even in acute. Even in acute. Now is all about criteria of repetition. This is again very beautiful. What Hahnemann tells, I am not saying you should not repeat. There are many homeopaths in acute, they give only one dose, wait and see. There are many homeopaths. What they do, they repeat randomly. Hahnemann says in 247 aphorism, you should be selective. Hahnemann gives 4 types of diseases and its experience in terms of repetition of the remedy. Under these chronic circumstances, smallest dose of the best selected homeopathic medicine may be repeated best, often with incredible results at an interval of 14, 12, 10, 8 or 7 days. In chronic, you may repeat like that, maybe if there is a need, he says. Second, in chronic disease resembling cases of acute disease, that is acute exacerbation of chronic disease, acute asthma, acute bronchitis, where the patient or menstrual symptoms, or maybe in a kind of an acute exacerbation of the chronic state, where Hahnemann tells is repetition should be even at a shorter intervals, because they are chronic. They are chronic, but they are at the moment having an acute. So repetition should be faster. Third, in acute disease, real acute, repetition is needed to be very much shorter period, like every 24 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours. Many homeopaths who are repeating one dose 3 hourly, one dose 4 hourly, one dose 2 hourly, quite logical in acute. And then the acute test, what Hahnemann is using the word, in the very acute test cases, repetition can be even up to 5 minutes. We can repeat even up to 5 minutes. The faster the acute test of pathology, the faster should be the repetition. But again, the repetition should be guided with the present state of the patient, following the potency given. So it is not about like random prescription, random repetition. Homeopathy is what you call an individual science, where every case behaves in a very different way, every case behaves in a very unique way, right? So it is 247. Now again, very important, you have given a remedy. How you can judge on the base of mind? Mentals are very important in understanding the acute. What Hahnemann talks about, how your medicine has worked in acute cases, either right or wrong. So if your remedy is wrong, how you can judge immediately? 167 was the remedy reaction, but from the mind itself, you will be able to confirm straight away that your remedy is wrong. And that's what Hahnemann tells here so precisely. It is evident in urgent cases, 6, 8 or 12 hours are enough that your selection of the remedy is right or wrong. That's all. It's a bottom line. How much to wait to judge the prescription in acute disease? 6, 8 or 12 hours maximum. I never wait more than 12 hours. If I've given a remedy, patient is not working, I never wait more than 12 hours maximum, I would say, maximum. Otherwise, within 4 or 5 doses, you will be able to see the visible effect. And what Hahnemann tells, suppose you have given a wrong medicine, even if after giving waited time of 6, 8 or 12 hours, patient is not better, patient state is growing perceptibly weak, bad to worse, worse to very worse, hour to hour, occurrence of new signs and symptoms. What Hahnemann is saying, remedy his mistake. You should remedy your mistake. That is, give next possible better improvised prescription. How to give next improvised prescription is 167 aphorism. That's what I said. That whatever symptoms have gone, forget it. Whatever symptoms have come, take it, make a new totality and prescribe. So in this way, it is like, in the earliest signs that the remedy is wrong, the earliest changes from the mind itself, you will be able to understand that the remedy is wrong. Now, the opposite. When remedy is right. Now, when you are given a remedy in acute disease and remedy is right, what will be better? There will be state of mind and whole demeanor of the patient are most certain and instructive. Patient will be better psychologically, higher spirits, energy will increase, appetite will increase, sleep will increase, thirst will increase. He will be having same problem, but he will be having calmness of mind or freedom of mind. A kind of balance in the mind you will be able to see in a patient, even though his fever of 103.4 degree, even though he has severe colic, even though he has acute asthma. but his mental signs are conclusive. The earliest sign, as we know, that the mind is deranged first than the body. So the mind should be improved first than the body. So here what Hahnemann tells is, mentals if better, remedy is perfect. Remedy will clear the pathology at a whatever level patient has, but he has to be better mentally. That is what primarily. And the opposite, the remedy is wrong, it will become worse. The remedy is wrong, it will become worse. So what will happen? Vital force become more helpless, more pitiable state of disposition of mind, and whole demeanor will be seen. Constrained, situation. All the gestures, posture, section will be pursued on closed observation, but cannot be described in words, because the vital force is more deranged. It was deranged. Whatever symptom you received, it became more deranged. So the more worse is very difficult to describe in words. So what Hahnemann tells in 253, beautiful. The first part is that if the patient is better, super. These are the signs. If the patient is not better, this is amelioration, and the other is aggravation. If there is aggravation, this is the thing. In connected aphorisms, if you want to read 68, 96, 104, 148, 253, 254, 255, 282, all these aphorisms, if you see in together in total, you will be able to understand what signs of mental well-being is there, or what signs mental worsening is there. Because after the remedy, what we are interested to produce is similibus curantia, right? So this is 253. Now, in a case, how you should manage about diet, it's a big problem. In a how you are going to manage the diet, or maybe what should be your do's and don'ts in acute case taking. Here what Hahnemann tells is, in acute case taking, except mental alienation, agar patient pagal nahi hai to, subtle unerring internal sense of awakened life, preserving faculty determines so clearly and precisely, physician required to counsel the patient, friends and attendants to put no obstacle. Acute में उसको जो खाना है खाने दो, acute में उसे जो करना है वो करने दो. He wants to have the room closed, or he wants to have this type of food, etc. You should allow it, maybe in limit, but at least you should allow it. What Hahnemann tells in 263 aphorism, that it's for palliative benefit. It doesn't make any difference with the remedy. But this voice of nature, this voice of acute vital force, the acutely deranged vital force, refusing anything patient already desires in the way of food, or trying to persuade him partake anything injurious. अगर कोई डेंजरस चीज है या फिर बहुत सारी क्वांटिटी में खाना चाहता है, तभी आपको रुकना पड़ेगा, तभी रोकना पड़ेगा. Otherwise, many times I tell you an example. A child of tonsillitis wants to eat ice cream. I tell the patient, you can give at least half a cup or 4-5 spoons, and there is no aggravation. Ultimately, remedy works even better. And that's what Hahnemann tells. The fact is 263 aphorism. So clearly what Hahnemann tells here, that these are the desire of the patient affected by acute disease with regard to food and drink. Certainly is for palliative relief, is for psychological relief. And even many patients, in one of my case, I remember the 72-year-old lady from a village had corona positive, and she wanted to eat potato wafers during the cold and 𝐾𝑜𝑟 fever. I was quite surprised when I reportized the case. The remedy turned out to be was natramute, made a beautiful effect. So in a way, when this type of unique desires and aversion itself become PQRS, itself become unique, and into that if you advise them to take it to certain quantity, that will be of a palliative relief, not strictly speaking of a medicinal character or merely sort of want. Slight hindrance in the gratification of this desire in moderate bound could oppose the radical removal of the disease. अगर पेशेंट कुछ खाना चाहता है और अगर आप नहीं देते, अगर रोकते ही रहते हैं, तो his mind will be in a more deranged state because of the denial, because of situation, and that could oppose the radical removal of the disease. Which will be amply counteracted and overcome by the power of homeopathic suited medicine. So in this way, desires and aversions during acute is of great importance. They are symptoms, but at the same time, if the patient wants to have something, it is more or less of a palliative relief, right? And to conclude, the last about aphorisms, what Hahnemann talks about, don't create an obstacle. Slight hindrances that the gratification of desire within moderate bounds could oppose the radical recovery. So we should avoid that. Second, refreshment that follows from taking what has been so ardently longed for. You know, if a patient wanted to eat ice cream, and if you give him 4 or 5 sips of ice cream or a half cup of ice cream, you see the change in his nature. You see change in his mind. He's relaxed. He's relaxed. In the same way, he should be kept free from all over exertion of mind and exciting emotions. So more or less, this I can tell you in nutshell about aphorisms in bird eye view of the organon for acute disease. And this is what I have learned applying into my practice. This entire organon is my the everyday book for me, which I connect to the patients every case I see. And that's what I say, that whatever we are today is because of our educational father Samuel Hahnemann. And these aphorisms is my compilation and presenting to the wonderful group of DHMA, where this I with the hope that this will give you the acute homeopathic care and organon perspective better than what you are already doing it best possible. Thank you very much. I'm open for questions. I think we'll be very happy to receive feedback from the people as well as questions.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful session.
I'll be happy to have feedback from the people.
Yes, sir. Please, anybody, if you have any questions or any feedback, please write down in the chat box. And I will request Dr. Kalpana to raise the questions to our speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Sakshi. And thank you so much, Dr. Kritik sir. Such an informative session today. Dr. Abhishek asking question. In Bonninghausen method, we have to follow the 7 points, quiz, quid, etc. Sir.
Actually, von Bonninghausen method for treating an acute is something which is taking active symptoms into consideration at the time of giving a prescription. If you want, I have a separate 1.5 hour lecture for von Bonninghausen method for managing an acute specifically. So in that, what he says that you have to take only acute active symptoms in making the prescription. Those symptoms, say for example, person is having constipation as a chronic problem, and person has constipation the same in acute, is not an active symptom.
Okay, sir.
A person is having, the person has a state of, say for example, constipation or migraine or coryza or whatever. Those symptoms are same in an acute. Is not the symptom which we should prescribe for. We should take only active symptoms. Means what is totality is causation plus expression leads to prescription, right? So in acute we have exciting cause. So from exciting cause, whatever symptoms we are getting, that active symptoms should be taken into totality for the prescription. That is whole von Bonninghausen method. And into that, there are a lot of components are there, but how to make totality and all, but that is entirely a different lecture in itself.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question. Asking by Usama Ali. Sir, does we have to go for totality in acute cases, or can we go for cautions as Dr. Boger emphasized?
That is good question, Dr. Usama Ali,
sir.
Yeah, Usama Ali. Basically, causation. See, causation. Late Dr. Robin Murphy, one of the wonderful teacher I have met in homeopathy from England, who recently passed away in COVID. It's a big loss to homeopathy. He was my teacher. In his book, he has mentioned, when you are able to find a case with clear cause in a case, it's a time for celebration, because you are able to find out the deepest root which has designed the vital force to produce a disease. Now, causation only cannot work. Causation needs individuality. What type of symptoms patient has developed. And that is what is very important. So causation plus expression in the form of PQ symptoms, expression in the form of very unique symptoms, even though patient is having whatever pathology, that will lead to a proper prescription. So only cause, only like exposure to cold, take Rustox, or change of weather, take phosphorus, or having sprain in the ankle, take Rustox, won't work. This is a cause, but you have to have the symptoms, because when you take the medicine on the tongue, goes in the brain, touches the end, all the cells of the body. So you need a highest level of similarity. Only on the level of cause, I really doubt how much it will work. So totality, causation, actually causation has to be with what you call PQR symptom. That will give you a beautiful, what you call result.
Okay, sir. Next question is Sandeep Kamse. What potency in acutes and acutest?
I mean, see, clear the remedy, higher can be the potency if you want. There are doctors, there are different, it's again 267 and 276, 277 aphorisms. Hahnemann has given beautifully in these three aphorisms that potency is a very individual choice. Hahnemann says potency, practice will lead to perfection. So potency is such a subject, or I would say posology is such a subject, which every homeopath has experienced in their own individual way. And it is very true also, because what homeopathy tells, or say for example, what universe tells, no two things are alike. No two things are, if you take two trees, if you take two animals, if you take two humans, if you take whatever in two, at least in two, nothing is alike 100%. Even dactylography, fingerprint also. So it is something which is, everything is unique in universe. So on those vital force on which remedy was proved at the time of Kant, Hahnemann, Bonikus, etc., were different. And those vital force coming in front of us to get the treatment are different. So more or less, one case receive 30 potency, produce a magical cure. In one case, you may go up to CM. One case can be, can get clear within one dose. One case you may need 10 dose of the same remedy to get an effect. So Dr. Amar Singh Nikam in Pune, he treats acutest serious problem with 30 potency, only 30 potency. Where there are a lot of doctors, say for example, my teacher, Dr. R.P. Patel, legendary Dr. R.P. Patel, whom I had opportunity to learn cancer management, learning organon and all the other things from under him. In acute also, he was, more or less keen towards giving LM potency, where LM potencies are weak potency. Indications of LM potency, if you see, in acute, LM potency is less prescribed than centesimal, because centesimal is like a bullet train. Acute is an LM potency like local train. So it's all about individual. With practice managing acute, I believe 200 to 1M is safe potency, but many acute cases, I'm able to see results with 30 potency. Many cases have gone up to 10M, 50M, CM also.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Dr. Anita Sharma asking, in government OPD, fast follow-up is not possible in acute. एक minute, sir.
It's a big question.
Government OPD fast follow-up is not possible in acute cases. So lot of acute cases there, and how manage it?
Acute is okay. Acute, acute in it 15 minutes, 20 minutes, one case. In acute, it's 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes is enough. So to produce an acute case taking or to get a right medicine in an acute is relatively easy. But to have a government OPD where there is very limitation in terms of softwares or acute proper management and all, that is something a difficult question to answer. But acute, I mean, in Corona, I used to see 35-40 patients a day. That is easy. That is easy. As I said, 82nd aphorism, individualization. Acute, there will be less time will be required to finish the consultation. But those people, I was of an opinion to, what I first pursued the question is like, if a homeopath sees 100 patients a day, if a homeopath sees 150 patients a day, what will be the percentage of the right medicine? that is very debatable.
Yes, sir. Again, Dr. Anita asking, please also guide for acute exacerbations of chronic.
Very good question. Acute exacerbation of the chronic disease is now the world is coming towards a very serious, I would say, disease. What do you call, human race is going towards, I would say. Hahnemann, and that's where Organon is giving us a lot of clarity about. Along with acute exacerbation of chronic disease, Hahnemann has talked about emotional disease. If you see aphorism 225, 226, Hahnemann has used the word emotional disease, because there is physical layer, physical diseases, mental level, mental diseases. Emotions has a level, and emotional diseases are also there. That's what now in the era of corona, lot of deaths, lot of disappointments, lot of fights, lot of issues, lot of this, lot of that. People are suffering a lot emotionally. Along with that, lot of breakup, a lot of divorces, or etc. also is producing a shock at the emotional level, and people are developing emotional diseases. But corona will speed up 100 times more to have a emotional diseases than what it could have been without corona. That is a point. Now, acute exacerbation of chronic disease, I would like to answer. I mean, I will take few minutes to answer this because it's in a nutshell. It's because it's a big topic, but I will answer in a nutshell. Acute exacerbation of chronic disease, Dr. 𝐻𝑜𝑚𝑜𝑒𝑜𝑝𝑎𝑡ℎ 40 years practice, Dr. 𝐺𝑠G 40 years practice is a masterpiece. You should read. In the entire Organon, there are two homeopaths. As I said, Hahnemann is appreciated in his Organon, in his written Organon, Dr. Boninghuisen and Dr. 𝐻𝑜𝑚𝑜𝑒𝑜𝑝𝑎𝑡ℎ. Acute exacerbation of chronic disease many times needs different kind of approach. Suppose you had, I'll give you example with two patients. Both the patients are having asthma. Both are doing better. But acute exacerbation of chronic disease because of change of weather, or because of food, or because of whatever, stress, etc. Both developed certain set of their individual symptoms, acute symptoms, right? In one case, the chronic remedy you repeat will boost up the immunity, will settle the case back to normal. So this acute exacerbation of chronic disease was connected according to 𝐻𝑜𝑚𝑜𝑒𝑜𝑝𝑎𝑡ℎ. It is connected. And the other acute exacerbation of chronic disease, you have clear-cut different totality. You have to give different remedy altogether. Then only acute disease will get settled. And when the patient is settled and you review the case, it may give you a different remedy altogether. So ultimately, acute exacerbation of chronic disease can be of a single remedy, or acute exacerbation of chronic disease will be different remedy and giving a different remedy for chronic constitutional state after the acute as well. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
And the beauty is how to judge the remedy has worked only at an acute level, or it has worked constitutional level as well, on a chronic level as well, on a deeper level as well. The fact is, chronic constitutional symptoms, if modified following the acute prescription, means that the remedy has touched the deeper level, touched the chronic state, and probably this patient will not develop acute exacerbation of a chronic disease in future. Or if at all we develop, will be very mild. It's like that.
Okay, sir.
I hope the doctor who asked the question is convinced, or she can keep on asking on the same subject. I don't have any problem. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. डॉक्टर अनीता, आप मुझे सुन पा रही हैं? डॉक्टर अनीता, आर यू देयर?
यस मैम.
आपको यदि और भी कोई क्वेश्चंस हो, क्वेरीज हो, तो आप डायरेक्ट सर से पूछ सकती हैं.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for explaining this too much like this, sir. Sir, as I'm in a government hospital OPD, there are a lot of patients, thick OPD is there. So जैसे अभी आपने बताया कि follow up आप patients का ले सकते हैं, बट कभी कभी क्या होता है कि कुछ एक्यूट केसेस में हम फॉलो अप प्रॉपर समय पे ले नहीं पाते हैं, तो ऐसे केसेस में प्लान ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट करते समय हमने कैसे मैनेज करना चाहिए या पेशेंट्स को क्या एडवाइस करना चाहिए सर?
Ma'am, with due respect to your question, basically, I take very limited number of patients in my practice. There are 2 to 3 new cases a day and 6 to 7 follow-ups in a day. That's all. I start working 7 o'clock in the morning. I close at 8:30. No break in the middle. Except lunch break for 20 minutes or so, I practice continuously. Because I believe that's what learning with 𝘿𝙃𝙈 𝙁𝙃 or learning from R.P. Patel or learning from Frederick or whomever you say, I have understood somewhere that homeopathy is not a science of mass, it's a science of class. If you want to do classy work, take limited number of patients and serve them well. Suppose if you take 10 patients in your one day practice and you give 100% to those 10 patients, you are 100%. So more or less, I'm not the right person who can answer you into this government OPD situation, because I'm neither connected to any college, neither I'm connected to any government institutions like that. But what I personally believe is that in these type of cases, automation, software produces a great help. You set and you forget. We are creating a software that is something which is another, apart from I've created world's most advanced e-learning program in homeopathy, where 3 ministers from government of India and His Excellency Governor of Gujarat was there in the function online ceremony. So that is the first venture. We are coming up with software which makes, you set for you write your concerns to the for the patient, and that software automatically takes care of it. Because what I personally believe is that homeopathy is a tender touch. Homeopathy is gentle touch. In the consultation, what we do, we gently touch the suffering of the patient, giving him enough time, making the patient cry in front of you, trying to give him best possible sympathy along with the medicine to make him better. Without touching the person, you are helping somebody. Is a divine work. That's what Hahnemann tells. It's a divine science. So in a way, what I want to do is that the more you are for successful, more stress you are going to get. And their technology needs to be adopted for the best of purpose. And unfortunately, homeopaths are not that technocrat. That is something, a big problem. So now the world will have to use technology more or less, because even a homeopath himself cannot find his own success ratio every month. Whatever patients he has seen, how much they are better, not better, etc., etc. It's a different subject altogether. But what my vision towards next 2 years is, I want to create a software on the base of Organon in terms of case management, which takes every single care of your practice. You set, then you forget. Suppose you are speaking about the government OPD, patient का follow up नहीं होता है. Suppose you write in a software, you just make a schedule message system that this patient should receive a message every 45 minutes from us. Whether you are connecting to the patient personally or not, that's different thing. There will be message into his mobile, automatic voice call. After the beep, you give your feedback, it will reach to us. There are so many things which we are doing, in fact, which we are doing. And when I am such a kind of a person who makes trials and testing, aggressive trials and testing, critical trials and testing, and then I announce it to the world. Because ये सारी चीजें जो हैं, हैनीमैन के समय में टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं थी. अगर टेक्नोलॉजी होती तो होम्योपैथी का कुछ अलग ही लेवल होता. And if you read Organon, especially Organon 84 aphorism, I quote specifically 84 aphorism. Last 2 lines अगर आप पढ़ेंगे, उसमें हैनीमैन कहीं ना कहीं फ्यूचर में टेक्नोलॉजी का भी कैसे यूज हो सकता है, उनको वो पॉइंट्स उन्होंने कवर करे हैं. Theory of chronic disease also has some indications. Lesser writings has also some indications. So because he himself somewhere would have understood as a homeopath how much burdensome life a human being undergoes when he practices homeopathy. And that's where he has given some indications that how to reduce your stress, how to improve your quality, and how to manage your time in a better way. Because a homeopath is not a good administrator. A homeopath is not a good technocrat, where a lot of things are blocked. And even though you want to do it, you cannot do it because situations are not allowing. The way you said, like हम उन पेशेंट्स को मैनेज करना चाहते हैं लेकिन मैनेज कर नहीं पाते हैं, कांटेक्ट करना चाहते हैं लेकिन कांटेक्ट कर नहीं पाते हैं. तो ये सब चीजें जो हैं, we have to change with time. We have to change with time.
One more question, sir. Dr. Krishna asking, in acute cases, potency should be different or same with different age group?
We are not treating children. We are not treating males. We are not treating females. We are not treating old age people. We are not treating animals. We are treating vital force. We are vitalist. We are studying life. If you get a good symptom, good totality of symptoms, good PQRS, so you are set free to prescribe. So it is different. That susceptibility point of view, child में अच्छी होती है, adult में थोड़ी कम होती है, old age में बहुत कम होती है, but all very relative idea. I've seen patient of 72 years giving a beautiful clear-cut remedy picture of bryonia, and a child of 8 years, I struggle finding the remedy. So ultimately, what is important for us is whether male, female, whatever, we are treating vital force. And the beauty of universe is whether you consider, a dinosaur or a simple rabbit, rat even, or even ant, say for example, ant, chinti. If you consider the dinosaur or ant, there is only one vital force. So in a human, there is one vital force. That's what Hahnemann realized between 5th and 6th edition. Hahnemann in 5th edition, he was of an impression that there can be multiple forces governing the body and governing the health. So he wrote vital force, but then he realized, no, it's the only force which is governing the body and governing the health. So it turned out to be vital principle, because principle in a college is always one. There can be multiple forces, multiple. कौन सा एज ग्रुप है, मेल है, फीमेल है, क्या है सिचुएशन, हमें कुछ देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. प्राइमरीली what you need to see is the derangement of the vital force and try to make it rearranged with your remedy.
Nice, sir. One question more, sir. Dr. C.R. Tong, please suggest for cataract medicine.
No experience. I don't know that part of homeopathy. Maybe I need to learn. Some people use cineraria drops. That's what I've understood. Some people use cineraria drops. Something like, I may give you my opinion, but it's not my experience. Cineraria drops people are using. See, cataract is aging. It's an event of aging, right? It's a process of aging. Homeopathy doesn't go against the nature, against the rules of the nature. अगर menses delay करना है तो हमारे पास दवाइयाँ नहीं है. Menses जल्दी लाना है, जैसे एलोपैथी में ऐसे, if you want to delay the menses, you have medicine. If you want to make the menses early, you have medicine. If you want to sleep more, you have medicine. If you want to sleep less, you have medicine. More or less, allopathic medicines can go against nature because they are crude drugs, they are chemical drugs, they are powerful drugs, vicious drugs, poisons, I would say. Homeopathy doesn't go against nature. So whatever is changing in your body or in your mind, you have to accept it as a virtue of, as a blessing or curse of the nature, and you have to accept it as a part of your aging process. So cataract is aging process. You cannot undo it. You cannot cure it, or you cannot make it. I have not seen up till now, to be honest with you, that I have seen a homeopath cured cataract. You can reduce the speed of the cataract. That's okay, but I really doubt. I mean, would be very happy to meet that gentleman who claims that he has cured cataract. And also, sometimes my opinion is the following into this. Many times, instead of changing the doctors, one should change the science, because no science on the planet is complete. all the science on this planet is meant to make the patient better, make the person better. But it is equally true that no science is complete. Cataract in a surgery at that ophthalmologist hospital is 1 minute ka procedure, 1 minute ka kaam hai. And to take homeopathy for how many months, how many years, I don't know. So I would say there are 98% of the diseases where homeopathy science better. But in a cases like cataract, say for example, I'm not that. Yes, I love homeopathy, but I don't reject allopathy. I respect allopathy as well. So in such a case, maybe a cataract surgery will give the person much more benefit than treating the person for whatever months or years. This is my honest opinion. I may be wrong, I may be debatable, you can debate on this, but this is my personal perception.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Anita. Dr. Anita,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
आप डायरेक्ट अपना क्वेश्चन पूछ लीजिए प्लीज।
सर मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, जैसे पेशेंट्स कुछ आज के समय में, जैसे अगर कोई बच्चा है या कोई एक्यूट प्रॉब्लम है, तो उस समय हमारे नॉलेज के बिना कुछ एलोपैथिक या आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन साथ में लेते हैं, तो उस समय ऐसे केसेस में मैनेज करते समय पोटेंसी या अगर ऐसी हिस्ट्री आती है सामने, तो उस समय हमने क्या केयर करना चाहिए सर?
मतलब पेशेंट इज टेकिंग द मेडिसिन विदाउट योर नॉलेज,
आइदर एलोपैथिक और आयुर्वेदिक, हमारे नॉलेज के साथ में भी, या फिर भी हम मेडिसिन अगर उनको देते हैं, फिर भी घर जाने के बाद मैडम आपने पेशेंट दिया था लेकिन फिर भी बुखार ज्यादा तो हमने पैरासिटामोल दे दिया, या फिर अपने मन से वो दे देते हैं।
समझ गया।
ऐसे समय
See, there is a lecture on this. I mean, I can take 2 hours on this. How to manage allopathic drugs on a patient of homeopathic care. On the patient is taking homeopathic treatment. Not allopathic drugs are dangerous. Not allopathic drugs are simple either. So it's a big lecture how to manage patients on allopathic drugging, or how to stop allopathic drugging, or how to do. It's a big lecture, and I can't tell you even in short also, but I can tell you homeopathy into my experience, because I have been working. I worked with 𝑗 for I think more than 8 years or so, I guess. देखा है मैंने वहां पे, और ऑब्जर्व भी किया है लोगों में कि सिंपल एलोपैथिक ड्रग्स जो होती है ना, सिंपल एलोपैथिक ड्रग्स लाइक पैरासिटामोल, लाइक एस्पिरिन, सिंपल ड्रग्स, और इवन मल्टीविटामिन्स, they touch the body more or less at a very physical level. There are 3 types of drug. One is simple drugs, second is complex drug, and third is dangerous drugs. That's how I have developed the whole lecture. Simple drugs you can manage, हो सकता है, आप बंद भी करवा सकते हैं, अगर जरूरत पड़े पेशेंट अपने हिसाब से ले लेता है तो भी केस को इतना डिफरेंस नहीं मिलता है, केस को इतना डिफरेंस नहीं पड़ता है. This is simple drug. Second is complex drugs, steroids, antibiotics, what you call muscle relaxants, and all these things patients are taking, right? And third is dangerous drugs, where patient is on sedatives for 20 years. Psychotropic drugs, those you cannot stop it. So simple drugs you can stop it. Complex drugs, I would say 90% you can stop it, 10% you have difficulties, you cannot stop it, or you can, if you stop it, patient has a lot of problems. And dangerous drugs, you cannot, you don't even think to stop it, because it's very dangerous. It's life threatening. One of my patients tried committing suicide when I withdraw his drugs for when I withdraw his tranquilizers. Fortunately nothing went opposite, but it's very risky thing, you know. So पैरासिटामोल केस को इतना इंटरफियर नहीं करती है, क्योंकि 6-8 घंटे में ही अपने हिसाब से उसकी एक्शन खत्म हो जाती है. अगर आपकी दवाई सही है तो 8 घंटे के बाद भी बुखार नहीं आएगा, and patient will be, you know, better with your remedy. But more or less it has to be avoided as much as possible.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for informative session today, as well as nice question answer session today. Dr. Sakshi, you will continue.
Please unmute yourself, Dr. Sakshi.
I would like to request Dr. V.P. Singh sir to say a few words about the lecture.
सर का ऑडियो म्यूट है।
डॉक्टर कृतुक शाह का जो लेक्चर आज कर रहा है बहुत ही इंफॉर्मेटिव, बहुत ही एजुकेटिव और फंडामेंटल चीज को लेकर के किया गया है। एक्चुअली प्रैक्टिस में तो रोज आती है लेकिन इनका हम ध्यान नहीं रखते हैं, तो डॉक्टर शाह ने हमको इसके बारे में आगाह किया है, हमको इसको फॉलो करना चाहिए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद डॉक्टर शाह का और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपकी पूरी टीम को। थैंक यू डॉक्टर साक्षी।
Thank you, sir. Now
Thank
I
you
would
very much, sir.
Now I would like to request Dr. our President to say a few words about the session today.
Thank you, Dr. Sakshi, and thank
श्वेता
you.
एक सेकंड,
Yes, sir.
आपसे पहले मतलब 2 मिनट बस।
जी सर, बिल्कुल।
सबसे पहले तो मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा डॉक्टर कृतुक शाह का, जो ऑर्गन की बिल्कुल गहराइयों तक ले गए और बहुत ही इंफॉर्मेटिव लेक्चर दिया। और एक सवाल था, डॉक्टर नीता शर्मा शायद नाम है, जो गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय हैं, तो उनको मैं सलाह देना चाहूंगा कि देखो पेशेंट तो बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं सरकारी नौकरी में, गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में, तो मैं उनको एक सलाह देना चाहूंगा कि उनमें से कुछ पेशेंट जिनको वो ऐसा समझती हैं कि उनको टाइम हमें बहुत ज़्यादा देना है, तो अपनी 8 घंटे की ओपीडी में 6 घंटे की नॉर्मल ओपीडी करें और लास्ट के 2 घंटे में पेशेंट को टाइम दें अगले दिन के लिए, या जैसे मैनेज कर सकें कि जिनको वो टाइम देना चाहती हैं। तो पब्लिक हित में और उनके अपने हित में ये बहुत अच्छा रहेगा उनके लिए। बस धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And yes, thank you, Dr. Kritik, for sharing your wisdom and your great knowledge with us. And you have beautifully explained all the aphorisms of Organon by our founder, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. And it's always challenging to, treat acute diseases. We can't delay to give relief to the patient. So I agree, in acute, we need courage and confidence. And I hope through this lecture, you have boosted the confidence in our generation, in all of us today to deal with the acute diseases. So thank you so much for your sharing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cases, there are a lot of interesting cases, but maybe in the future, next time.
Definitely, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it is wonderful to meet all of you virtually. I want to congratulate once again Dr. Shweta and the entire team of DHMA to go ahead with the wonderful work about for our beloved homeopathy. Lots of wishes and lots of blessing to the team.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very
sir.
much. Thank you for having me on the platform. Yeah.
Sir, please, one more question is there. Sorry, sir, मैंने आपको interrupt किया.
आप
Acute
पूछिए
cases
पूछिए.
में,
I don't have any problem. You can ask me questions.
sir, acute cases में remedy relationship को कितना importance देना चाहिए?
वो भी एक बहुत बड़ा point है. Remedy relationship जो है ना, to tell you in a very short, no remedy relationship is absolute. Remedy relationships are relative. It has come from someone's experience. As I said, every vital force is unique in this universe. Following the remedy, which remedy will come, that the current evaluation following the first prescription can tell you with certainty. Remedy relationship का जो पूरा जो concept है वो proving से आया है. पूरा कॉन्सेप्ट, अगर आप बीके सरकार की किताब है एसेज इन होम्योपैथी करके, बहुत बड़ी किताब है, उसके अंदर उन्होंने प्रूविंग से रेमेडी रिलेशनशिप तक बहुत गहराइयों में उन्होंने बताया है. मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आप वो पढ़ें. और रेमेडी रिलेशनशिप जो है मेरी क्लिनिक में, मतलब मेरे प्रैक्टिस में, मैंने बहुत सारी बार देखा है कि कहीं ना कहीं किसी का जो एक्सपीरियंस रहता है, या ट्रायो है या फॉलोड वेल और फॉलोड वेल बाय, वो आते रहते हैं. बट as I said, it is not an absolute truth. It is a relative truth. तो जब तक आप fresh evaluation नहीं करेंगे following the prescription, present evaluation following the prescription, it will be very difficult to judge the second prescription. And that's what Hahnemann tells in 167. May I request you to read 167 and 168 aphorism. That will give you the exact answer. It also has an answer about remedy relationship also. 167, 168 और अगर सेट हुआ तो 169 में भी पढ़े, उसमें फर्स्ट पार्ट तो रेमेडी रिलेशनशिप के ऊपर ही है. So what Hahnemann tells is, suppose we are close to two medicines. Suppose we feel there are two simillimum in a case. We have given one simillimum, whatever we felt better. Till also he tells that what is the next remedy will come, you will have to judge at the time of present examination following the first prescription only. You cannot give in a follow-up the second medicine. What you felt at the first consultation can be a simillimum. वहां तक Hahnemann कहते हैं. तो remedy relationship तो एक अलग ही दुनिया है. So what Hahnemann tells in nutshell I can tell you is, follow the symptoms, guided by the symptoms. That will take you to the journey towards success, because ultimately symptoms are the internal outward reflection of internal derangement. Aphorism 7. So when you are focusing on the outward reflection, in a way you are touching the internal state. More or less, that's all I can tell in nutshell to you.
Thank you, sir.
रेमेडी रिलेशनशिप में मैं आपको बताता हूँ, डॉक्टर पी शंकरन ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, और जो लेजेंड है डॉक्टर राजन शंकरन सर, उनके पिताजी ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है. ही इज प्रॉब्ली आई वुड से एन आइकॉन ऑफ रेमेडी रिलेशनशिप. उनमें बहुत उन्होंने काम किया है. लेकिन सिचुएशन ये है कि कौन सी रेमेडी के बाद कौन सी रेमेडी आएगी वो कभी आप 100% प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते, या किसी के लिस्ट में डाली हुई रेमेडी को हम 100% पकड़ भी नहीं सकते. It's all individual. So unprejudice, I would say, unprejudice. That's the only word I can tell you if you want to make yourself more clear about remedy relationships. It is Dr. P. Shankaran's experience. It is not Dr. Anita Sharma's experience, or it is not Dr. Krutik Shah's experience. Their experience can be with all the vital forces are individual. So ultimately your experience will also be individual. So ultimately in my practice, what I believe is I see remedy relationship, but when I'm open for change of prescription, I take the present totality. पूरा रिव्यू अच्छे से लिया जाएगा, प्रॉपर केस स्टडी की जाएगी, जो सिम्टम्स बाकी रहते हैं उसके साथ में जो रेमेडीज का लिस्ट आता है, उसके बाद ये सब किताबें हम लोग खोलते हैं कि भाई इसमें कहीं किसी ने लिखा है कि ये रेमेडी के बाद ये रेमेडी का अच्छा रिजल्ट है, क्या लॉजिक है, वगैरह वगैरह. तो पी शंकरन का एक किताब आप अपने पास रखे, वो बहुत अच्छा है. डॉक्टर राजन शंकरन ने उनकी बुक्स को कंपाइल किया है, एलिमेंट्स ऑफ होम्योपैथी. इट इज अ गुड बुक, यू कैन हैव इट. But as I said again, be guided by the symptoms of the vital force.
Dr. Shah, good evening to you.
Good evening. Yeah.
Dr. Ashok sir. Okay, you can get on, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I have one question in sense of acute stage, and thank you very much for today's lesson. Always fantastic whenever I'm listening to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you to
very much.
Dr. Shweta and the team for organizing this thing. My question remains, in this situation of the last Omicron, the COVID situations, the gravity of this post-acute stage treatment for 1 week, you can say, the majority patients, this cough remains for longer time. And I found a little difficulty to complete the cure. You can say 20% of cough or 30%, whatever. All this, as you told, that 4 symptoms are cleared up and the 5 will remain and new came. But the main situation is of cough and it's really difficult. Please comment on the situation of Omicron, and especially concerned with cough also, how we can manage to treat the patient to bring it out this weakness post situation and the cough especially, which majority patients are suffering. Thank you very much. And thank you
Understood,
again
sir.
for your lesson. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It is my pleasure to be on this platform, and I am grateful for your comment. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I think with due respect to your question, I can give you that the answer Hahnemann has given about this in 103 aphorism and 244 aphorism. I can tell you about these two aphorisms. What Hahnemann tells in 103, because 100, 101 and 2 are for epidemic diseases. That is for epidemic disease and epidemic case taking. 100, 101, 102. 103, connecting to that, epidemic and intermittent disease to 244. So 103 and 244 are the exact answer. What, sir, your question is, that is anti-psoric remedies. The answer is anti-psoric remedies. Many times, that's what Hahnemann tells. I'm elaborating it. 103 aphorism. Can I share the screen if you want here? I mean, that will be better, I guess. Just a second.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. मेरे को देखना पड़ेगा. एक minute. What Hahnemann tells here is something which is very beautiful. Is that whatever acute actually comes is primary. Whatever chronic disease or whatever disease you may say, it is actually a product of a psora. And if after the acute care, whatever we have given for Omicron or for any patient having any epidemic disease, in the time of Hahnemann, there were a lot of epidemic diseases. So after the acute care, if the patient has chronic symptoms following an acute, say for example, cough, you have said, sir. So in that case, we have to take the proper case of the patient and try to find best possible anti-psoric remedy fitting to the totality of the patient, along with regulated lifestyle, will give us the success. Because in 103, let me share the screen. Okay. COVID, this is my lecture on COVID-19 and organon of medicine. This is what Hahnemann talks about. This, I think I delivered a lecture for COVID-19. I don't know where, but I think probably somewhere in Europe, I delivered this lecture. So what Hahnemann tells in terms of COVID-19, in the same manner, there is thought relative to the epidemic COVID-19, which are generally of an acute character, the miasmatic chronic maladies, which have shown always remain same in their essential nature, especially psora, must be investigated, and the whole sphere of their symptoms in a much more minute manner than has ever been done before. For in them also one patient only exhibits one set of symptoms. I need to hide this. Okay, one set of symptom. Second can be second set of symptom. Third can be third set of symptom, which are also but deserved. Okay, totality symptom which you can find with very many single patients. तो Hahnemann क्या बोलते हैं यहाँ पे कि हमने जैसे एक्यूट में जीनस एपिडेमिकस हम लोग ढूंढते हैं कि भाई आर्सेनिक है या whatever है. In a way, when you take cases of those patients who have not recovered properly, who have not recovered permanent, I mean, like normal, those who have post acute symptoms, following the acute, they have recovery symptoms. Their proper case should be taken, proper evaluation should be made, and to hit the miasmatic chronic disease, we need anti-psoric remedy, which will help them to bring it better, bring it back to normal. But that can also be learned by very many single patients. Means in every case you have to take the case individually. Very many, but single patients affected with such a chronic disease. Because in acute, derangement of the vital force will also be individual. And then follow it up you will have an experience. What Hahnemann says, without a complete survey and collective picture of these symptoms, medicine capable of curing the whole malady homeopathically, to which the antipsoric cannot be discovered. And these medicines are at the same time true remedies of several patients suffering from such chronic affections. That is 103 aphorism. I hope it is clear to you, sir. Can I have your...
Thank you very much anyway. Thank you very much.
And in this 244 aphorism also confirms the same, that you have to advise the patient for proper lifestyle modification and management following an epidemic disease. Because if the patient has recovered from acute, more or less in whatever way possible, but still the patient is not completely better, there is a possibility that the sora which has been disturbed can land up into a serious chronic disease. So here Hahnemann tells that a proper healthy lifestyle following the acute is also requested. And if that repeats again and again, he has given indications of China and indications of some other drugs as well. But more or less, if the patient has not recovered properly following an acute of epidemic of Omicron, that individual case should be taken after the patient is better to make him settle chronic miasmatically or constitutionally.
In your personal experience of your daily practice, maybe some indications type of different, although it is individual, we have to retake, as you told me, each case must be taken, but some of the remedies which in practice you are facing in front of you to orientate ourselves, that it could be. There's a small picture of remedies which we should or we could orientate to go through to remove this last balance of the symptoms as cough or weakness, especially. All this. Please do comments.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. It's my pleasure. I have made a whole list of those remedies. I'm just opening my the file and I can tell you, because there are 3-4 remedies.
For you? Is it okay for my question?
Absolutely, sir. I am completely agree to your question. I am also working into this Omicron and all, because I am seeing a lot of COVID patients and all. So I will tell you a few remedies which I have felt works very well after settling an acute, but still patient is suffering more or less some kind of symptoms. Like cough is one of the symptoms. Loss of appetite is another symptom. Then weakness is another symptom. There is also some other symptoms I will tell you. Chronic mild backache, lumbago. These are the symptoms which are very commonly I have seen in the patients once they have recovered from COVID, once they are when their reports are normal, but still they are not up to the normal they were before. And I will tell you the probable remedies and the observations what I've received so far for your sharing as a sharing. Just a second. It's a wonderful question, sir. See, for weakness, I have found two remedies superbly helpful. One is China. One is China and second is sulfur. Superb helpful. Then cough is pulsatilla. Very much useful. Pulsatilla and arsenic. Following COVID, whether it is Omicron or Delta, following COVID, pulsatilla and arsenic is of great use. Then loss of appetite. Prominent remedy, what I have received is the patient has loss of appetite following fever, is ipecac. Nux vomica. Yes, these two. And for lumbago, chronic mild lumbago following fever is Rustox and Bryonia.
Very, very nice indications. Again, I should say thank you. Ma'am, namaskar. Thank you for
sir.
your
Thank you very much, sir. You are very respectable, and a senior homeopath coming from you is always welcome. And this is what I have on a very small observation. I have shared you the remedies, but they are not absolute again, because ultimately somewhere I have seen three cases or 4 cases out of 10 of these type of symptoms falls into this totality wise homeopathically. So somewhere it's like we can say this is the set of remedies which we can look after post-COVID symptomatology.
So there is
just to add my experience for these 2 years of COVID.
Yes,
this,
sir.
Arsenic helped me a lot, especially I was helping my patients. It helped. And second was Bryonia. The people who are getting for longer and slow process of the disease, that Bryonia helped me also, I'm helping the people, my duties are there. But this homeopathic concept gave me energy to help them with these 2 remedies, especially the previous, initial stage when arsenic, we were taking it very seriously. I was able to save for 1 year without having this vaccination. But now the problem that authority is obligating us here to have the vaccination because of this, passport, vaccination passport, we cannot go to the.
Yes. Very right, sir.
It was really, thank you again, really, with my due respect, your all lessons that I was able to follow. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
So we are running live on Facebook too. So there's one question there. Can I go ahead with that, if you allow?
Yeah, please.
So there's a question from Dr. Barsan Chatterjee. He wishes to know that as you discussed about cataract, so does that go along with gallstone or renal stone? And what are your views about external applications?
Gallstone, renal stones are something which is a genuine pathology. Cataract is more or less of a part of aging process. There are different categories of these diseases. Gallstone and renal stone, homeopathy has a great scope to offer homeopathically. In fact, I have a lot of evidence-based cases for kidney stones, for gallstones, etc. So they are genuine pathologies and it has to be addressed homeopathically. Absolutely. That is first part. Second is about external applications. I would say the gentleman who has asked the question, 187 and 188 is your answer. 187 and 188 is your answer. External application has a very limited role to play homeopathically, because if the disease has come from external force, suppose while climbing the stairs, your ankle got twisted and you have fracture, or you have a sprain, or while traveling you had an accident, or because of whatever reason you were healthy but the disease force came from outside to disturb your health. So in that respect, your vital force was not deranged. In a way, on a very limited role, homeopathy has a role for mother tinctures. Homeopathy has a role for liniments, lotions, etc. But the external disease or the local disease coming from inside, that is what you call Hahnemann is talking about internal disease and external disease, right? Internal disease in the system or external disease on the skin. Hahnemann not advising any external application on the plaque of psoriasis or eczema or for whatever, because what Hahnemann tells very clearly, if you read 197, 198, 199, beautiful, Hahnemann talks very clearly that symptoms are the outward reflection of internal derangement. The skin disease is a part of the internal process expressed on the surface. So in a way, more or less, what you are supposed to treat is internal derangement having an outward reflection. If you treat only outward reflection with lotion, liniment, or ointment, or some pharma company, whatever combination you want, you are suppressing the phenomena, you are distorting the phenomena. As a result, what will happen? Either that will land up into a new problem at a different level, or complication of the same problem will come up. So in a way, Hahnemann says that external symptoms are connected to internal derangement. So you treat the internal medicine, you give the internal medicine to, you treat internally. So once the internal disease will go away, external symptoms will automatically go away. And that is a sure sign that the disease is cured. It has not been suppressed. Because whatever disappears and on the surface will mask your observation, whether it is cured or suppressed.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful enlightening session. Now I would request our President, Dr. Shweta Singh, to give a vote of thanks.
सर, अगर हम फ्यूचर में कोई डिफिकल्ट केसेस में आपका गाइडेंस चाहे तो हम आपको कैसे कांटेक्ट करें सर?
Ma'am, you can drop an, मैं आपको एक second. You can drop an email to me. Actually, just a second. I'm sorry. मैं डिटेल्स दे देता हूँ आपको मैम, तो यू कैन ओके, हियर इट इज. ये मेरी लाइफ का सबसे खतरनाक केस रहा है. That I will share it to you probably in the next. This is my email address, details. This is the details of my email address and contact details. Feel free to communicate to me.
Thank you very much, sir, for such a nice information. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kritik, for joining us today, and we would like to appreciate you with a small little appreciation certificate from Platinum. Kindly accept it. Thank you. I would like to thank our patent sir, Dr. VP Singh sir, our Chief Advisor, Dr. Yudhishthira Singh sir, and our team members, everybody who joined us today for their cooperation and support. And thank you. See you again with DHMA with the future webinars. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Sakshi.
Thank you, ma'am. And I, Dr. Sakshi, as the General Secretary of DHMA, thank every one of you for joining with us today in this session. Please stay connected with us for more such informative sessions, and you may take membership and become an integral part of this esteemed organization. As you can see, the team 2022-23. For more details to take the membership, please visit www.dhma.in. And in case you find any difficulties or you have any queries, kindly write to us at dhmadelhi@gmail.com. On behalf of DHMA, I wish all of you a very happy new year ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shall we end the meeting, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. सर मीटिंग एंड करें. डॉक्टर वीपी सिंह सर, डॉक्टर युधिष्ठिर सिंह सर.
अब आप प्रेसिडेंट हैं. अब तो आपकी इजाजत की जरूरत है.
थैंक यू सर. सर डॉक्टर वीपी सिंह सर, हम मीटिंग एंड करें. सर हम सुन नहीं पा रहे आपको.
चलो
आपकी आज्ञा का पालन किया जाएगा. बहुत अच्छा रहा आपका लेक्चर आज का, बहुत अच्छी तरह से ऑर्गेनाइज किया. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको, आपकी टीम को. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू सर.
सर हम चाहेंगे नेक्स्ट टाइम आप स्पेसिफिकली कोविड पर कोई अच्छा सा वेबिनार अटेंड करें सर. इट्स माय हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट टू यू.
जी जरूर. थैंक यू मैम. थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग. गुड बाय टू ऑल. थैंक यू.
ओके.